Hello, BookTube. I have a fairly good sized mail haul here. It was dropped off this afternoon, plop by plop by plop through the mail slot, while I was watching BookTube videos with a group of muscular teenagers, as one does. And we were watching Strip Cover Lit, and after they were done making a few rather ungenerous comments about the physique of Dalton Gentry. They asked about all the bobbleheads, about all the names listed on the videos, and I pointed out that it's their Patreon, that it's the Strip Cover Lit guys' stated intention to do this professionally, to earn enough money per month so that all they do is BookTube. At which point, one of the muscular teenagers said, "Dude, you should have a Patreon. That would be sick." I've learned that with Park and his friends, sick means good. If they see something or think of something and they call it sick or disgusting or gross, anything like that, they're actually praising it. Just like when they say shut up, they mean please continue. I'm very interested. And we were talking about it, and they were saying, "Dude, what would happen if half your subscribers pledged $1 a month? Then you'd have $500 a month." At one point, one of them said, "You'd never have to pay for a meal again." And I said, "When's the last time you paid for a single French fry when we've had a meal?" To which he responded, "Dude, harsh." But again, when I was thinking about it, I was thinking, what would be the point? I don't want to do this professionally. I'm having fun doing it just the way I am. I have not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 different paymasters. And on top of that, the way I understand Patreon, you offer incentives to your patrons. In addition to the content that you allege you are going to put out for free anyway, you offer incentives for the people who are funding your endeavors. And the incentives usually take the form of, personalized emails, personalized Skyping, some personalized version of what you offer for free. All the young guys I know who have fitness channels, for instance, offer that kind of thing to their Patreons. But I do that anyway. I offer book recommendations to anybody who will ask. I email as many of you as will let me, and that's hundreds of you. I can't for the life of me think what I would offer to justify any kind of money, especially since I'm having a lot of fun spending money on you instead of the other way around. I like sending out books in the mail. So my teenage boys now think, now that they know about it, they think that this is an even dumber exercise than they originally thought. Because now that they know that some people, the guys at Strip Cover Lit are their new heroes, now that they know that some people are actually intending to make money doing this, they're even more baffled why I do it at all. But when the mail started coming through the slot while we were watching those, how do you like that? Starting off a video with a boring digression. When the mail started coming through the slot, then the mockery went from Dalton straight back to me, where it usually is. But how, hey, dude, you gonna lose it? But I confess, getting a pile of free books in the mail is very exciting. So let's see what we got, shall we? They're all gone now. They're all cleared out to go and try in their crude caveman way to study. Oh, look at this. Oh, very nice. What a good start. This is Saul Freelander. These are the finished copies of his 2-volume memoir. Oh, boy, oh, boy. So the first one, there he is as a carefree youth, is When Memory Comes, and then the second one, there he is as the world's foremost Holocaust authority, Where Memory Leads. Isn't that interesting? So there you go. I don't think I ever got the galley of his memoir. I absolutely love his work, so I haven't read this. So actually, when do these come out? shameful that I don't know this, but November 8th, Nonfiction November. The more I've been thinking about Nonfiction November, the more I've been thinking about reading only nonfiction in November. Wouldn't that be something? You're not supposed to, but Gemma and Olive strongly encourage people to read more nonfiction than usual in the month of November, and they've set up 4 challenges. In case you want to read 4 books, you can pick a book for each one of those challenges. And I've strongly been thinking about just reading nothing but nonfiction in Nonfiction November. I might even like to be the very first person to read 100 books of nonfiction in Nonfiction November. But we shall see. Anyway, what have we got here? This is Shot Blue by Jesse Rudick. And this is, I think, from Coach House Press. This is Canlit. Yeah, Coach House Books. This is Canlit. Jesse Rudick first left Canada on a hockey scholarship to Harvard. Her writings and photographs have appeared in The New Yorker, N+1, Bomb, Music and Literature, and Vice. This is her debut novel. So, as in all things, when does this come out? Winter of 2017. That's not very helpful, is it? Isn't that half the year in Canada? Of course, now whenever I get a Coach House book, my first question now is, what does Jason Purcell know about this author? Has he interviewed them? Does he know their work? So I will send him an unrequited email. He's too busy for the little people anymore. Let's see here. What is next? Oh, very nice. This is the University of Chicago Press, and this comes out in mid-November. Oh, I have been hoping for this. I didn't get any advance copy of this. This is called Common Ground, Encounters with Nature at the Edge of Life by Robert Cowell. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Oh, and it's got illustrations throughout. Oh, so this is going to be a classic mold natural history volume. Only it sounds like it's going to be nature on the edge of cities, which is where most of us encounter nature in the Northeast. If that's all too often we think of nature as something distinct from ourselves, something to go and see, a place that's separate from the ordinary modern world in which we live and work. But if we take the time to look, we soon find that's not how nature works. Even in our paneled out, paved over urban environs, nature is all around us. It is in us. It is us. Okay, well, I don't know about the woo-woo of the last 2 lines, but that's absolutely true. If you pay attention to your surroundings in a city, even the size of Boston, or bigger, you will encounter lots of nature. Nature does not stick around on the peripheries. Its opportunistic species are everywhere, and if you pay attention, you'll see them. Fantastic. Oh, that is great. A classic illustrated natural history volume. How wonderful. All right, what have we got here? Oh, God help us. It's a math book. Calculating the Cosmos, How Mathematics Unveils the Universe by Ian Stewart. It's just the hideous thing right there. Who is Ian Stewart when he's at home? Oh my God! He's a fellow brontosaurus. Who are you? He's an emeritus professor of mathematics at the University of Warwick, author of numerous books on math. A life misspent. And he lives in Coventry. Oh my. Okay. Well, if this comes out tomorrow, and if I confess, if he were a slicked-haired, fresh young thing, I probably wouldn't even give the book the time of day. But when I look at an author photo and I see my own face smiling back at me, somebody who's got a real interest in sharing something, then I'm intrigued. It's always so pointless for me to read math books. They go right past me. But I'll give this one a try. I will give this one a try. Let's see Oh, okay. All right. This one I did read. This is due on the 1st of November. It was so far the toughest book that I've read this year. It's Voracious Science and Vulnerable Animals. Let's see if I can get these close to the camera. This is a primate scientist's ethical journey, and it's brutal reading. It's brutal reading. The only way that it could really be, I mean, it's about animal experimentation, all of which is pointless, all of which is redundant, all of which is sadomasochistic, and the only way, I remember reading it in Galley and thinking the only way this could be worse if it was about beagle testing, which happens all over the Western world in rampant numbers, to totally pointless effect. Totally. And it's not just done by the medical industry, it's also done by the military. The U.S. military has more beagle blood on its hands than any other organization in the history of the world. And it's only a matter of time until somebody writes a book on that subject as well, and the animal on the cover won't be a little monkey, it will be a beagle, like the kind that the U.S. government buys from beagle breeders, raises to adulthood, and then puts in slings on a firing range in order to fire heavy ordnance at the bodies. And what is the stated purpose of that test, if you want to call it a test? What is the stated purpose of that has been happening time and time again for 30 years? To determine whether or not the shells will kill living organisms. As if there was any doubt of that. As if Korea and Vietnam had left any doubt of that. It's just money in a budget, so it has to be spent. This book is... there are glimmers of hope in it. I will reread it. Definitely, I will read it. Hard as it was, I will reread it. It deserves it because it's an important book. And there are glimmers of hope in it, believe it or not. But it's a tough subject. Let's move. Let's hope for something enjoyable, shall we? Oh, okay. Well, enjoyable, yes. Because it's something I can send to somebody, which is always fun. This is The Year of the Comet by Sergei Lebedev. And I can send this to Olive, which reminds me, Olive, if you're watching, I have an old address and I have a new address, and I am very old and have forgotten which is which. If you could perhaps email me or message me on Twitter and just give me a hint to which is the new address. But this is, let's see here, this is Sergei Lebedev was born in Moscow in 1981. 1981. I'm not currently wearing an article of clothing that's younger than he is. And worked for 7 years of geological expeditions in northern Russia and Central Asia. Good Lord. He's a poet, essayist, and journalist, and also from that work experience, probably a psychopath. Oblivion, his first novel, was translated into many languages and published to great acclaim by New Vessel Press in 2016. Don't remember if I sent that to Olive. But I will certainly send this one. What is this? From the critically acclaimed author of Oblivion comes The Year of the Comet, a story of a Russian boyhood and coming of age as the Soviet Union is on the brink of collapse. Oh, that sounds right up her alley. Well, anyway, there you go. So, The Year of the Comet. Let's see what's next. Dude, that would be sick. A Steve Patreon. Good Lord. I'm lucky you people put up with me as it is, and here these kids want me to pay for it. Oh, okay. Here's a boy. We're not exactly hitting bullseyes here. We're hitting all around the bullseye. This one is another philosophy book due in mid-November. This is Adorno and Experience by Peter Gordon, who is the Amabel B. James Professor of History and Faculty Affiliate in the Department of Philosophy at Harvard University. He is also Faculty Affiliate in the Department of Germanic Languages and Literatures and Resident Faculty at the Minda de Gunsberg Center for European Studies. Okay. So this is all about Adorno. And it's not for me. It's not my kind of book. And I confess, we haven't particularly had my kind of book yet. Let's keep going. There's some more chances here. And I don't want to be so recherche as to complain about free books. Let's see here. Oh, good Lord, okay. All right, this is also due in mid-November. This is Surge of Piety, Norman Vincent Peale and the Remaking of American Religious Life. After the Great Depression, Norman Vincent Peale, that's him, in all his jowly glory, and a handful of highly placed allies helped inflame religious sentiment in the United States through his influential books and organizations, his radio and TV platforms, his pulpit in New York, and his friends in Washington. Peale promoted the idea that belief in God was essential to the health and harmony of all Americans. Okay, well, he did all those things, and it was grotesquely bad for free thinking. It was grotesquely bad for the country and for the values of the Enlightenment. I don't know. This is by Christopher Lane, who looks like he's 4 years old. He's professor of English at Northwestern University. He's received a Guggenheim Fellowship and a Mellon Foundation grant. So he's wicked pissa smart, as we say in Southie. Okay, well, it's mid-November, so it's nonfiction November, so I'll give it a try. I just hope he's not praising Peale for this. I mean, it's true. Peale and Billy Graham and a bunch of other people were at the spearhead of a religious fundamentalist sweep through the country. But I can't think of much good that came of it. I mean, aside from my education, so, which who knows, I might have got it from some other source too. I guess I'll see. I'll read it, and it's not long, so it won't take much work to do. But it's the sort of thing. Every once in a blue moon, a book will come along that actually makes me wish that, not the only thing that makes me wish this, but that makes me wish my sainted Ma were still alive, so that I could sit her down and say, Ma, you lived through this. What was this like? Tell me. Here's what this author says. What do you say? Okay. It's about bloody time. A Bullseye. This is by Robert Gerwath. This is the finished copy of The Vanquished. Look at that cover. Man. Why the First World War Failed to End. And Robert Gerwath is also young. He's professor of modern history at the University College Dublin and the director of the Center for War Studies. He's the author of The Bismarck Myth and Hitler's Henchman. Oh, Hitler's Henchman was really good. Oh boy. Okay. And this is a new kind of a paradigm shifting study of the after effect of World War One. Rather than focus on the experiences of the First World War's primary victors, Gerwath tells the lesser-known stories of the civil wars, interstate conflicts, revolutions, spates of ethnic violence, and refugee crises that occurred throughout much of the lands of the vanquished in the years immediately following the war. And that is a lesser chronicled part of the First World War, so this will be fascinating. And it's November, so I'm thinking that I might actually do an epic nonfiction November. Why not? Why not? And then this is actually the last of our packages today. I'll just tear this open. Let's see what we've got. Oh, look at this. Egyptomania. History of Fascination, Obsession, and Fantasy. Oh, this is by Ronald Fritz, who is the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences and Professor of History at Athens State University, Alabama. It looks like it's going to be a history of Egyptomania, which is 110 years old. The land of pyramids, sphinxes, pharaohs, and goddesses, Egypt has been a source of awe and fascination from the time of the ancient Greeks to the 21st century. I remember it well. I've visited it many times. I have a very old friend who lives there. In Egyptomania, Ronald Fritz takes us on a historical journey to unearth the Egypt of the past, a place inhabited by strange gods, powerful magic, spellbinding hieroglyphs, and the uncanny mummified remains of ancient people. Okay. All right, so this is mid-November. All righty, very good. Uh, I I met and hung out with some very nice stray dogs in Egypt, in Cairo. Well, not once, but many times. Okay, all right, so there we have it. That was a little bit bigger a mail haul than I thought. Isn't it kind of sickening that a 20-minute video is now nothing? I just sneeze at it. It used to be. So I don't know if I can do all these together. It's quite a bit. There's a couple of nature, philosophy. There's a debut novel from Canlit. There's a Russian novel, 2-volume Saul Friedlander memoir, Egyptomania, World War One. It's not a bad haul, all things considered. So I'm gonna dig into it. I'll see you soon, BookTube. Thank you.